How's everyone doing today? Welcome to our Friday edition, Fitzy Friday. I'm Sean Fitzgerald, one of the personal trainers here at the Upper Valley Aquatic Center. So, go ahead, like, subscribe, and go ahead, and we'll try to, kind of chit chat, share information, and things like that. So, thanks for tagging along, thanks for kind of streaming, things like that. And if you have any other suggestions or anything that you guys don't want to go over that we can kind of debunk on these days, go ahead and let us know. So today we're going to kind of winding down in the year, right? So we're going to be chit chatting kind of about maybe why you might not be seeing any changes, or like what could be some of the causes for it, or kind of like, oh, like I'm trying to build a little bit more muscle, but I'm not getting there. And we're kind of getting into the bulking season, right? Summer's kind of over, so some of people's programs will start transitioning into more of a bulking or a mass phase, things like that, and to prep for the following year. So we're kind of chit chat, and kind of goes with men and women both, or anything like that, like whoever's kind of training, like everything's very similar. It's the basics, it's science, right? It all comes down to the same basic concept, right? So one, right, the easy, like the most reliable one is your recovery, right? So if you're starting to say like, hey, I don't have any changes, like nothing's really happened, like the way you sleep and the amount of your sleep is actually where your recovery and actually the changes will happen, right? If you're looking to build muscle, right, your body will repair itself after a workout when you sleep. The more you sleep, the better you sleep, the better the repair, right? The easier for growth and things like that. So, are you actually getting your 7 to 9 hours of sleep, right? You know, it's hard, right? You got kids, you work odd hours, multiple jobs, stresses in life, like there's a lot that kind of plays on, and people getting your 7 to 9, it is very challenging. It's there's a lot that goes on. So that is like one easy look, one easy thing to kind of, it doesn't really take any time. It's just literally, all right, if I'm going to bed at 9, am I waking up at 5? Right? And you go from there. Like there's 8 hours. Am I sleeping good? How do I feel after it? Am I tired? Am I groggy? Do I feel refreshed? Do I feel good? Things like that. And you kind of check off your list from there, right? So very simple. That's like, one of the easiest one. It doesn't really take a lot of work. It's literally just going to bed, watching a clock, seeing when you wake up, and then go from there. Now, if you have a watch, like Apple Watches or Fitbits and things like that, it'll track your sleep, and you can do all that stuff. If you're interested in learning a little bit more data or having a little bit more data for you, but you know, basic, real simple. Get your sleep, right? Get your rest, right? So we kind of go into the other part, which is, it's kind of hard because everyone eats differently. They have their own different beliefs and things like that. But a lot of the times is you could be seeing changes is because it's actually what you're eating. Are you even eating enough to really promote a change, right? Like if you're looking to build muscle to like tack on some mass, right? You have to be intaking more calories, right? It's the opposite goes for you want to lose weight. Like you need to eat less calories than what you burn, right? So, if I'm burning 2,000 calories a day, I can only eat like 1,800 calories, 1,900 calories a day, and that deficit creates that. Same thing if you want to go the other way. I burn 2,000 calories a day. I want to tack on. I need to go 2,200 a day, right? So, sometimes over-reporting, under-reporting, right? Like if you use the apps or things like that, everyone's hand is a little different. So a handful is different for me to, say a girl that's like 5 foot, right? Like her hands might be smaller than mine. So her handful is going to be different than my handful, right? But a half a cup is a half a cup no matter where you go, right? So measuring is kind of like if you want to really get into it, that is the true tried and, fail way is actual measurements, not handful or a pinch, right? Everyone's fingers are different. My pinch might be different from someone else's pinch. Like someone that's bigger than me, their pinch their fingers are bigger, like their pinch is going to be bigger than mine, So it's it's really hard to kind of narrow down on it. So, real measurements, tablespoons, teaspoons, cups, you know, ounces, and really kind of hone it in. And then if that's how you want to go the exact way, right? So, and then a lot of the other times is protein, right? So everyone is like, oh, I don't like eat anything like this. It's, protein is one of those things that will fill you, right? It will kind of be a little more satisfying. Because like you think about it, even you're vegetarians, you eat some veggie chicken nuggets or some veggie patties, like black bean burgers or anything like that. Like you feel like full after you eat, right? You feel good, and the protein is literally what you need to help for your muscles. So that would be another area I would look into is what is your intake? Are you even eating enough? Some people eat too much. They might not realize it, like especially if you're a snacker. Holiday seasons are coming around, so a little snack here and there, it does add up. So those are things that you want to keep an eye on, and there's nothing wrong with indulging yourself. Like enjoy the holidays, right? It's just say Thanksgiving, you eat a lot on Friday, you just kind of get back onto it, right? You're going to take it. You don't punish yourself for kind of enjoying like the day and the meals, right? So get enough protein in you, right? Like what kind of is going in. Some people are kind of anti-carb, right? Well, you're going to have some carbs because there's going to be carbs in something, right? Something that you're going to eat, and it might not be the carbs that's actually the issue. It's you might not actually be eating enough, so there's no changes, so you're not fueling your body to actually be able to make the muscle, to make the growth, right? So that's a little bit, nutrition is a little bit, it's a touchy area. It's a very hard area. It's very tough to get because there's so much out there. So that's kind of the one that you have to play and experiment with, and then it's consistent with it. So another kind of area that you want to look into is take a look at your program, right? How long have you been doing that program, right? Are you following like an 8-week program, a 4-week program, a 6-week program, and nothing changes, or nothing adapted, things like that? So the term that we kind of use is progressive overload, right? So, I don't know if you guys all seen like there's a meme out there. It's like, first it's a boy carrying like a baby calf, and like as he gets older, he keeps carrying it up the hill, and like by the end, the bull's full size and he's carrying it on his back, and like he's really strong, right? So there's your progressive overload. Add the stress, make it tougher, and over time, the body adapts and becomes stronger, right? So, take a look at your program. Like, are you only doing 12 reps every single time? Are you changing your rep scheme? Are you doing 3 to 4 sets? Are you adding weight, taking weight off? Like, so we have a lot of different training variables that you want to take a look at, right? So usually I kind of do a 3 to 4, right? Depending on, what we're doing. And you take a look. Sometimes, rep schemes are anywhere between, 4 to 6 to, like, you can do anything you want, but you want to be able to, follow a program, right? Say 4 weeks, you're going to do this weight, this many reps, this many times, and are you adding weight, right? 2.5, 5 pounds, because your last 2 reps on your last couple sets is not challenging, right? So you need to be able to add that weight, increase how much you're moving, give that little bit of overload, and that would force the body to adapt, right? Once you start adding more weight, though, your recovery comes in. You need your sleep. You need to be able to rebuild. You got to be able to eat, right? So you got to kind of figure out what works which way, what works the other way, right? So, you're not seeing any gains because you sleep 4 to 5 hours a night. You spend most of the time on Netflix and social media. You don't get a good night's sleep. You wake up. You don't really have a great breakfast, right? Stop at fast food. You just get a shake out the door, right? Something quick and easy. So it doesn't help, right? Because you want to be able to actually fuel your body with nutritious, healthy food, or something that's good for you, not just grease, right? And you go all day, you probably have how many cups of coffee, you don't drink any water, right? Because you're not really hydrating the body, and you're working, you're sitting at a desk, or you're not able to do a whole lot, right? You don't have a really good lunch, and then you try to go work out, you don't really have a dinner, it's late, the cycle just keeps going, right? So take a look at your schedule, take a look at you know how you organize everything, and do you get enough sleep? Do you actually eat what you need to be eating? And are you actually training like properly? Are you going through a program to where it's made for you to adapt, right? So a lot that kind of goes out like on your social media posts are, like the bro science and like real science, right? How some people only train, chest and tries one day, once a week, and late, like so. A lot of that is it's kind of tough because the really like your bodybuilders and your your fitness models and things like that, like they can train like that because that's what they do, right? They're training that body part to get that aesthetic to look a certain way for something, right? Everyone else, like everyday people that work and we have we do other things, like, right, we only might be able to get to the gym 2 to 3 times a week, right? If we're lucky, right? So really, we need to be training like total body, right? So we got to be able to make sure that we're training all the body parts, upper and lower, push and pulls, getting through that, while trying to only say like an hour, say hour and a half tops, right? In the gym, so you can get home and actually enjoy, so you're not spending majority of your life in the gym, right? So take a look at your program. Like, are there exercises in there that really don't matter? A lot of the accessory stuff. Are you able to maybe combine workouts? Like a couple different exercises that really, I don't need that. I can just combine, this workout. It hits two muscle groups at the same time. And there you go. Like your dumbbell chest press literally does, works a couple, chest, you got some tries, cool, boom, it's pretty good. You got some shoulder stabilization going on in there. Knock it out of the park, right? And kind of pair that with like a back exercise, right? Try to superset things. Try to find ways to get as much as you can in your workout while you're able to, progressive, and overload it and make those changes. So then you're not spending all your free time in the gym, right? So there's a lot that goes into it. It's not hard. It's a little bit more tedious work because you actually got to pay attention to kind of the things that you want. Like, what are your goals? What are you trying to do? Like, I want to bulk up or I want to lose weight, right? Those are kind of the two areas. Like, those are your goals, and then take a look, be like, all right, why is nothing happening? How long I've been in this program? Have I changed my weights? Have I changed my exercises to fit the goal itself, right? So some people that, like you want to bulk up, but if you're going to do exercises, that don't really lead to, like you want to say you want your biceps bigger, right? We'll just use that muscle group. Well, you're going to have to do bicep curls, right? So you're going to have to do hammers. You got to do like Kaylee, that is what makes it bigger, right? It wouldn't make sense to go in and only do like chest presses and like rope truck push downs and things like that, right? Because that's not really working your bicep. So if you want your bicep to grow, you actually have to work that muscle. So those are things you want to take a look at. Like, look at your program. Like, well, what is it? Does it line up with the goals that I want, right? Is there like changes? Like, am I changing how many reps I'm doing? Am I changing the weight? Or, is anything being adapted? Does my body adapt? Is it easy? Is it hard? Do I not really feel anything? Like, I'm like, oh, I just put up this weight and I'm like, it doesn't really feel like I'm moving anything. Well, it's probably way too light for you, right? So take a look at that. Take a look at your sleep. Really try to pinpoint that down. Like, I would start there right off the bat. Is like, all right, I need to get my 7 to 9 hours. Let's see how we feel from there, and then move on. And then look at your nutrition. Am I taking in my proper nutrients that I need? Am I getting all of my fruits, my veggies, my protein, my things like that? Like, am I snacking on too much like fried food or something that is good, right? It's good, it's satisfying, but it's like, does it help you reach the goals that you want? So it's kind of, you gotta take one or the other. So, try, reasons not making your goals or not really seeing changes. Literally all comes down to that stuff. So, you know, make sure you kind of understand your gym sessions. You're not just living in there for no reason, right? Make sure that those line up with your goals itself, so that way you work together. And then outside the gym is more important than you think. So hopefully that was a little bit of information that was useful, and you guys can take that and see how you can adapt from it. And like always, thanks for tagging along. And it's the weekend, so I hope you all get to have a good one. It's rainy up here right now, so hope you all stay warm. And like always, go ahead, like, subscribe, and we'll see everyone next Friday. All right, you all have a good one.